What's going on? This is your host, AD the Kingmaker. This is another episode of King's Corner. And today we're going to be going into my origin story. Super excited about it. A lot of people ask me the question of like, okay, who are you? And how are you the Kingmaker? And why should people listen to you? And what are your credentials? And you ain't from the streets. You ain't know this. Look, we're going to get into all of my background, who I am, how I got here, why I believe if you're a millionaire bachelor and you're looking to go about increasing your prospects, or you're looking to start a family, you're looking to reconfigure your relationships in such a way that they work for you, we're going to get into all of that and why I think I'm the coach for you. And by the end of this, I think you'll agree. And if not, that's okay too. So I got my co-host KJ here, who's going to ask me some questions and kind of pop it off. So let's go, bro.
All right. So when was the first time that you realized your approach to women, relationships, or marriage just wasn't working? Like, was it a specific moment, a breakup, argument, or just like a quiet realization?
In my adult life, the first time I realized it wasn't working, man, honestly, it was a moment where there's several moments, but I remember I wanted a threesome, right? And I literally went to my wife and I was like, you know what? I think I want one of those. And I won't say exactly what her words were because I don't want to make her look bad and things like that. But like the tone of her voice, those curse words that came out after that. And I was just like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it, man. And then after that, I remember I found out about Kevin Samuels' content, and RIP to him. He was the first person who kind of really got me down this path. And I realized, like, he literally said word for word on the broadcast, he said, your feelings matter. He's like, you did not just wake up to protect and provide. Like, your feelings matter, your decisions matter, your thoughts matter. Like, you are a whole human being and you deserve to be treated like someone with feelings. And it was like, ever since then, like, it felt like an awakening. You know what I'm saying? Because then I realized, like, he's right. Like, she's not finna change my life. I'm gonna change hers. You know what I'm saying? Unless I run into like an Oprah or Beyonce, like most women who are gonna come across you, even the successful six-figure ones, they're deficient somehow, some way, because I don't believe they can be the best version of themselves without a man, right? So that was the one situation after I had already been married, where I realized, yeah, man, like this is not working. Something needs to change. And I need to start making different decisions because, like, this is not how a woman who loves, honors, respects, or even likes you talks to you.
So a quick follow-up. How did you respond to that initially? Like, did you double down on it after she responded, or did you kind of, start to question things from there?
So that happened. I realized that I was the kind of guy where, like, they call him like I was passive aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might say or do something I don't like on Monday and I don't bring it up, but I'm being like petty towards her on Thursday, you know, and I didn't realize that I didn't address it. You know what I'm saying? And so I forget how I responded to that. I was probably sad. And then, I guess I took my power back and I started making decisions, and I really just got to the point where it's like, look, you can leave if that's what you want to do, but that's just what it is. Like, I got to the point where I realized that, like, in order to have my respect and maintain it, I have to be, and this is important for all men, you have to be in a position where you're willing to walk away. The person who's willing to leave has the most power. And if that person is the woman, then bro, that means she probably doesn't respect you. You know what I'm saying? So that was a major decision, a major difference. And I've always been the one more willing to leave. But then once I got married, it was like, okay, well, now if you leave with half of everything. You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much. And so that was it. It was like reminding myself that, like, no, I'm not the prize, but I am the leader here. Right. And I run the ship, because whenever you see, let's say you see a homeless man and his family under a bridge on the side of the street, like, you don't look at her and say, well, what did she do to make all that happen? You look at him like, bro, how did you end? Like, you have so if I'm going to be responsible for all the blame, if this shit goes down, then I'm gonna need the power and the control to make sure that we don't go down. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So remembering that I have to have the willingness to say this ain't gonna work, and either that stops or this stops, but something about to stop.
Mm-hmm. Did you realize like your approach to women and dating, relationships was just, it wasn't working kind of as it was? Like, I guess kind of like describe the moment that this may have triggered that for you. Was like,
yeah, for sure. So the biggest one, I remember me and my wife were on the verge of a divorce, right? And without giving too many details about it, there was a situation where I had like this extra phone, and I was in a hotel, and this chick was about to come through, and my wife knew about it, and like, but she approached me about it, and I was like, no, and I lied, right? It was on the phone. And I hate lying. That's one thing about me. I maybe it was because I felt like I was lied to as a lot growing up as a child or whatever, but I don't like lying or liars. Like, I don't like when people do it, and I don't like when I do it. To this day, like, that was the last lie that I remember telling to her, because I made a promise to myself. I'm not doing that. I'd rather tell you the truth and hurt your feelings and sit here and watch you cry than for me to lie to you. Because if I'm lying to you, like, I don't like how it feels inside to me, right? So I had this shit coming through. She didn't end up coming through. But she was supposed to, and I had lied about it, right? And I'm in this hotel because it was like, I'm stressed. I'm trying to take care of the family. I'm trying to take care of the bills, and I'm realizing she don't want what I want. Okay. And long story short, she ends up finding out about it, and I had and there were some more things. I found out about these, and you can't get this. You're gonna have to come through me. This gentleman's network, okay, where you are pampered, and these women treat you lovely. They treat you amazingly. And I found out about that. She found out about that too, right? And so she finds out, and this is a Saturday, and I had a really, really, really good friend who I used to work with in corporate America, and he had passed away. Right. He had gotten in a car accident. He was on the highway. Some drunk woman got on the highway, and she was driving the opposite direction of traffic. He died at like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. Right. And his funeral was coming, and I didn't end up going to the funeral, essentially. And the reason for that was because she had found out about the stuff and had a whole mental breakdown, an emotional breakdown. And I'm like, damn, I can't leave her here like this. I'm afraid she's going to hurt herself, right? And it would be on me because I did lie and I created the situation. And so essentially that was the moment where I said, you know what, bro? This is God or the universe's way of saying, or like your punishment for lying or being a lying ass nigga is you won't even get to know or see your friend at his funeral. Like and this guy was a guy when I was in corporate and it was difficult for me. Like, bro, he was one of the only people who had my back, and like it meant a lot. And I sat and I thought, bro, if I had died, that nigga would have been at my funeral. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you're lying, you being a coward is the reason, like that is your reason why you don't get to go and honor this man in his death. And I was like, bro, I'm never lying again. I'm never lying again.
That's a problem.
And so then we had breakfast that next morning, and I'm looking at her, and I can't blame her for how she feels because, again, I caused the situation. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at her, it's awkward, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting and I'm looking at her face, and I'm like, look, I know what you want to hear me say. You want to hear me say, I'm never going to do it again. I'm not going to go back and whatever with the gentleman's network and all that. And I'm like, look, baby, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Okay. Because that was an incredible experience. That's like you having the best cheeseburger you ever had in your life. And then I'm saying, don't ever eat that cheeseburger again. You gonna eat it again. Like, you can sit here and lie to me, and I can lie to you. I'm not lying to you. So this just is what it is. So we're gonna get a divorce. We're gonna keep, like, what we gonna do, right? And this basically ended up in a phase for this is like maybe like a 2-year time period where we're just talking about everything. And I've since learned that talking is overrated. Either it's a deal breaker and you're gonna leave, or it's not, right? But the other caveat is, like, I treat her with lots of love. Like I'm very doting on her. I don't argue. I don't raise my voice and all these other things. So I make it hard. I really do. But that was the biggest moment when I realized, like, okay, there's lying to myself and saying that I don't want to do something. I'm not willing to lie to myself, because lying ended up in me missing my homie's funeral. I'm not lying though. I'm not lying to you, and I'm damn sure not lying to me. So what we gonna do? right? And with that came having to like, because when I was in that hotel that night and old girl didn't come through, like I couldn't sleep. I was like, man, I'm about to lose my family. I'm about to lose my kids. I'm about to lose everything. You know what I'm saying? But that was the biggest moment.
Word. Continue. So I guess previous to that, I guess what were your beliefs about, your beliefs, I guess, going into that marriage and about relationships and things like that? I guess what were those things?
The beliefs that did work for me or didn't?
Well, I guess what were you taught about relationships?
Oh man, I was raised on Disney movies just like everybody else. I was expecting, you grow up, you find you a woman, you get married, you have kids, you know what I'm saying? And I want the baddest, you know what I'm saying? I want the baddest woman, you know what I'm saying? I want people to be jealous and all that. That's what I was taught. I was also taught that, you're supposed to love women and open doors and treat them right. And, find one woman, you settle down, all this shit that is opposite of human and male nature. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many things I was taught that no longer work, right? Like if I had to try to list them all, like, oh, you want to be nice, you want to be polite, you want to open the doors. Nah, fuck that. Because that's putting a woman on a pedestal. You're not supposed to put a woman on a pedestal. They don't want to be put on pedestals. That's why they cheat on or not even cheat. This is why they don't like the nice guys. They would rather deal with a guy who treats them bad. It's not that he treats them bad. She's not special to him. Like you're one of many, right? Joe Budden has one of my favorite lines of all time. He said, the song is Ordinary Love Shit Part 2. He said, for every bad bitch, there's a nigga tired of fucking her. And I heard that song years ago. As soon as I said, baby, listen to this, this is why Joe Budden is that nigga, because of this. And so I'm at the point now I can go home and I can say, hey, for every bad bitch, and she can finish the line. She already know, because that's really and truly what it is. So it's like, I'd rather be the guy tired of fucking her than the guy who's chasing her, who she's not giving no time, money, or attention to. So yeah, man, putting them on a pedestal, being polite, opening door, like all of that, like, what do you call that? Chivalry? I have a friend who says, chivalry is dead, you the nigga that killed it. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna do what gets the best results. I was taught to be chivalrous. I was taught what they say, don't ever put your hands on a woman. I believe if a woman put her hands on you, she asks them you put yourself in a man's position, that's just what it is, right? I'm gonna teach my sons that. I'm gonna teach my daughter, don't put your hands on a man, because that's not a battle that you're gonna win, right? I was I don't know if I was taught this, but I think that men, if we're being honest with ourselves, men think, oh, the more attractive a woman is, the better of a person she is, like better character she is. Like we look at them and we see them visually and we never stop and even think about her character. And then when you get dogged out, it's like, how could she? That's who she is. You didn't stop to see what I'm saying? That's probably what she did to her last nigga. Right? So yeah, man, I was taught all kinds of things that just don't work. And I saw myself being this guy who woke up every day to go and work and pay bills and get her what she wanted, get the kids what they want. And it's like, but nigga, what about me? What about what I want? How, like, when did I just be? No, I'm sorry, I'm skipping the part. I'm a guy just like the rest of these guys out here, waking up, working, going to pay bills, and not getting no coochie. Where they do that at? That don't even make sense. Men feel love through sex. So if you're not giving yourself to me, you can't love me. Period. I don't care what nobody say. Like that's how I feel about it anyway.
No, for sure. So I guess off the cuff, given that you had those understandings about chivalry and those things that you more or less cut off, what was that cutoff point for you? When did you actually say, all right, I'm gonna hit the brakes on this?
I've never been extremely chivalrous. I remember I was at UNT riding a bus and it'd be like, unless a lady was pregnant, I'm not getting up. I don't care. I got here before you. You should have got your black ass here first. That's just what it is. I'm not you because you're a woman and you got legs. Bitch, I got legs too. You know what I'm saying? I'm my bad. What's the question? Yeah. What? Let's make sure we keep all this.
Whether it's in your current marriage now or some previous relationship, When did you actually, press the brakes and say, all right, that's enough of this nice guy?
It was enough. It wasn't one moment. It was several moments,
Okay.
right? So like the Kevin Samuels moment of me listening to him and him saying like, "Hey, bro, like your feelings matter." That's when I realized, oh shit, my feelings matter. I heard it on Instagram say the other day, and my wife sent it to me, and he was like, "Yeah, my feelings as a man don't matter. It's my wife's feelings because if she's happy, then everybody else is happy. House is happy, and it's my kids. My feelings don't. Like, I wish I would wake up and say my feelings don't matter. Would anyone here want to raise a son who grew up to believe my feelings don't matter? I think those are school shooters or suicide victims. You know what I'm saying? So no, man, like I started to realize one, my feelings matter, right? The second thing was I started to realize, or I started to ask myself, okay, why are these women out here like they are with men who are paying bills and taking care of them and putting them up in houses and like, but then why do they go and cheat on guys who have nothing? Like it'd be the brokest ones. Okay, what is that? And I started to realize from there, it's what does this man give her that the husband does not? This man is giving her a roller coaster of emotions. How? He hitting it good, right? He telling her what she want to hear, and he's not willing to give her a commitment. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I started to realize, okay, for every woman who's in a relationship or whatever, or let's say she's not, she's just dating, she has X amount of men in her phone who want her, but she don't want them. She wants him. Well, what's the difference between them and him? He has the ability to disappoint her. He has the ability. He's willing to tell her no. Like, hey, she wants to get together Friday. Hey, I can't. And that we all want what we can't get. So because she can't get him, she likes him more. You know what I'm saying? And he has other women who want him. Her husband, don't nobody else want him. That's why he's just with you. Like, that's just what it is. And I start to realize you need space and separation, right? I'm gonna shorten it to this. I started to realize that there are men out here who are having effortless relationships, meaning the woman likes him, adores him, loves him, respects him, and would never do anything intentionally to rub him the wrong way. And I started to realize I need to learn how to become that kind of guy, right? I also realized that dating is new. Like we didn't used to do this 2, 3, 4, 500 years ago. Like this is new. This is new. And dating, like business and dating are the same, right? Dating is just the business of, it's the economics of sex and relationship. That's all it is, right? Just like you would probably want to get out here, assuming, let's say you are not an entrepreneur, or let's say you're a hybrid entrepreneur, like you work a job and you run a business. Even as an employee, you're going to want to go and find the job that allows you to have the most amount of money that you can get, right? Like you want the best that you can get. And so as a man, we get out here and we want the best women that we can get. A woman wants the best man that she can get. And dating is just the economics of all of that. That's all it is, right? And it's all about positioning. And then I just started to learn what does work, what doesn't work. And I started to just learn again about the economics of it. And I started moving from like, okay, instead of going off of what I was taught and all these feelings, all this love and all this emotion, let me study what does work. Let me look back over my relationships and realize, okay, that didn't work. Why? What did I do wrong there? Oh, I broke this rule at that moment. That's why I don't work. You know what I'm saying?
So I guess before you made that change, what did holding on to that belief cost you beforehand?
Sex, right? It's so interesting. Like another big thing I learned, you can't listen to what women say. You can't listen. It don't matter what they say. It matters what they respond to. So they might say, I had a guy I used to work with, in tech, and he's a short white dude, and let him tell he's just knocking everything down. And he was showing me all these dating profiles, and like the profile would say, I like a guy who's over 6 foot. And he was like, yeah, no, I hit that. I was like, but she only whatever guys over 6 feet. He was like, yeah, they say all kind of shit. They say all kind of shit. Once I'm there and I'm in your presence, it's a different story, right? So I had to learn that like it's not about what they say they want, it's about what they respond to.
Would you say that sex, just in general, given that the access to it or the lack thereof is a byproduct of a lack of control or lack of respect, anything like that?
Yes. There's some schools of thought out there that say like everything we have, skyscrapers, cars, planes, roads, school, all of that is a result of sex. Because men want sex, we understand that the man with the most resources, the most attention, the most popularity gets the most of that. And so why build skyscrapers? So that I can be the guy who made the money from building skyscrapers, or say I built the sky. I can get all the things that women want that I can then trade in exchange for sex. So yes, if there's a lack of sex in a relationship, it's because there's also a lack of a power dynamic. Like she's running it. There's a lack of respect typically. There's a lot of fear, because if a woman is leading in the relationship, she's leading typically from a place of fear, not because she wants to be leading, nor does he want her to be leading. He's like taking a passive role in his relationship rather than an engaged one out front making decisions.
I guess speak to the impact of that, like I guess on the male psyche, or the male like emotional aspect of it. Like, how can he be impacted by this lack thereof of those qualities?
So that's a good question. So here's what I'll say. An analogy that I like to give. Let's just say that you're married, right? And let's say that you are out one day on a Saturday morning with the family, right? Like you're at home, but you're outside, right? Kids are playing in the front yard. The wife is doing whatever she's doing with the flowers. You're barbecuing or whatever, right? And let's just say a midget, okay, just for dramatic effect, walks up and he says, "Hey, bub, that's a beautiful family, beautiful house, beautiful kids. Get out of here, beat it. That's all mine now," right? Scenario A, you say, "Yes, sir," you run away and you cower. Scenario B, you say, "Bro, if you don't get your ass off my lawn, I will shoot you." Okay. Which of those two scenarios would you say the wife feels safe and protected and all that good stuff?
B.
She feels protected in B, right? Okay. So then let me add, this is what I learned. I learned that the same thing that turns a cave woman on 2 million years ago or whatever is the same thing that turns on a regular woman today. It's feeling safe. It's feeling protected. She does not feel protected if you essentially let somebody walk up and bully you out of everything, right? Now, let's change the scenario. Instead of it being a midget and your family, it's just you and it's her. You really want to go hang out with the boys, or you really want to go make this big expensive purchase, or you really want to go do something that she don't want you to do. But you assume, because of her history, if you do this, you're going to have to hear her mouth, and you don't want to hear her mouth, so you just decide not to do it. The same way the midget bullied you in the first situation is the same way she's bullying you emotionally. You understand that, right? And so if you allow her to bully you emotionally, she does not feel safe. Right. So this is why I say men need the ability to they need to understand what bullying looks like emotionally. And then they need to put their foot down and not let that happen and say, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. You ain't got to stay. You can go.
So kind of take the restraints off.
There you go. And then let her know that like, hey, if you want to be here, this is what we're doing. And if you're going to be here with a bad attitude, you can leave. Because that's not, because that attitude is impacting me and is rubbing off on me. So either be here and be grateful to be here, or be gone. Or as my mentor says, be good or be gone. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a man needs to have, he needs to be able to be, what's the word? Whenever a woman is, whenever she's highly emotional, and a guy's like, hey, let me take you out to eat, or let me buy you something to get you to be quiet. What he's communicating is, I can't handle your emotions, so I'm about to do something so that like they come down. I cannot take it. When you tell her, go sit down, I'm tired of hearing your mouth move. That's communicating. I'm not that I can't handle, I'm not willing to. I don't want to, nor do I have to. Now she feels safe. So to go back to your earlier question, like you have to have the qualities like of confidence, of self-love, of respect, of awareness, all these things, because if you're afraid that that woman will leave if you tell her to go sit down, I don't want to hear it, then you won't talk to her like that. And now she's successfully bullied you. Right. If you, I think that's really what it comes down to. A lot of these men, they're married to women not because they love them or anything like that, but because they don't want anyone else having sex with her. Right. But in my mind, if you are getting on my nerves, you're disrespectful, you're not treating me how I want to be treated, and I get rid of you, I'm adding by subtraction. I'm getting rid of a negative, which I'd rather be alone. And most men are lonely. They don't want to be alone. They don't want to be alone. Because think about it. If you enjoy this, I learned this at the strip club. If I'm sitting, because I go to the strip club, I'd have, my phone out, I'm eating, I'm working, I like the music they're playing, so I'm dancing or whatever. and the women will start being gravitated towards me. And then they come over here and now they start talking to me, and sometimes they ugly, sometimes their hands are rough, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, bitch, I was having a good time before you got here. And then I realized I'm the good time. I don't need you. You're bringing my energy down. Why would I come over here? Why would I let you come over here, enjoy my good time and leave with money? No. Leave me alone. I don't even like going to strip clubs no more. And so, yeah, man, like most men don't want to be alone, but it's because when they're alone, they don't enjoy themselves. I enjoy myself. My best part of my day is being alone. I enjoy this too. I enjoy spending time with the family. I enjoy all of that, but not more than I enjoy being by my goddamn self. And so if I'm already here alone, it needs to be here. Like you need to be able to do something for me that I can't do for myself, like rub my back. You know what I'm saying? Or like take something off my plate. And most men are not like that. They don't have requirements on their women. They just expect that she cooks them food and don't cheat on them. And that's good enough. That's not good enough for me.
So what was the first uncomfortable truth that you had to accept that kind of changed everything? Was it about women, yourself, the world, or what?
The biggest one is your woman don't care about what you want. She does not want you to succeed because of her insecurities. Like she wants what she wants, not what you want. Right? So, for example, let's say that like I had the opportunity to move to Dubai to do business. And once I do this business deal, it's going to take me from 10 million a year to like 200 million. Like this is going to put me in a whole other stratosphere. Like I already got the whole play lined up. Like I can see it. I'm communicating it so she can see it. A woman will sit and in the back of her mind, she would be like, oh my God, this is going like, he's going to be seen. He's going to be known. His hair's going to get big. And she might want to see you succeed, but at the same time, due to her insecurity, she's going to hold you back a little bit because now she understands that this is going to create more competition, right? And so they would rather do what's most comfortable for them rather than what's best for you. Does that make sense?
Hard for you to accept, just
yes.
On that realization?
Yes. Okay. Yes, it was. Because it's like, I thought like, okay, if you love me the way I love you, then like you should want what's best for me. But they don't want what's best for the man. They want what's most comfortable for them. Okay. So let's go back to the mathematics of it. Don't nobody want a motherfucker that don't nobody want, right? The reason one woman wants Chris Brown is because millions of other women want Chris Brown. But then that woman will get with Chris Brown and try to convince them to be with just her. Now she's trying to convince him to be less attractive to her. Because if you can convince that man to be with only you, then now don't nobody else want him, or he's not acting upon anyone else, right? And so I realized this is why I say self-love and self-investment. And like, you have to put yourself first because she will not. She will put what she wants first. She will put what she is most comfortable with first, right? It actually, in my opinion, makes me a better man to take care of and be responsible for more women than just one. It actually makes me a better man because now I have more responsibilities. I'm twice as responsible as the average man. Right? Just like if I have 3, 4, 5 kids and I'm taking care of all of them well, I'm far more responsible. I'm a better, more capable father than the guy with just one child, right? But they will be like, nah, I want him to myself. And so they will stifle your capacity if you allow them to, which is why I tell men, you got to do what's best for you. Do what you want to do, because if you're only doing what she's comfortable with, her comfort zone is like this. Right? She doesn't have as much testosterone as you do. She's not willing to take risks at the level that you are because she's a woman. She's not built for that. Right? So you have to do what is best for you versus doing what she will allow you to do as if she's your motherfucking mother or something. You must do what's best for you in order to realize the best version of yourself. And once I realized that my woman does not want what's best for me, she wants what's most comfortable for her. And what's most comfortable for her is not what's best for her. They are creatures of comfort, which is cool. I like comfort. I'm not going to shit on nobody for wanting comfort, but I'm also do what's best for me. And what's best for me is what's best for everybody around me, period.
Because of your leadership. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So I guess in terms of capacity, before, if someone is allowing themselves to be more or less, kind of capped off at a certain level, and then they explode out of that, how much greater do you think that person becomes accepting more responsibility, but also meeting that challenge?
So I'm gonna turn that question around a little bit. So we're talking about responsibility, right? Which when we talk about responsibility in my head, and I think in most people's heads, it's like, all right, well, now I have to do this. I am responsible for more, right? But the way I look at it is I don't have to do nothing but stay black and die. Period. Right. So if a woman decides that she wants to entertain me and vice versa, it's like I don't have to do anything. I don't have to call you. I don't have to do anything. Like she's a grown adult. I'm a grown adult. If I want to communicate, I will. If she wants to communicate, she will. If she wants to be elevated to another level within my life, then she's going to be willing to do whatever it takes. Right. A lot of these women be like, oh, they be out here dating boyfriends and giving a wife treatment. Well, my nigga, how else are you going to become a wife if he don't ever see you do what wives do? I don't even think you got wife stuff in you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to have children, you want to be a mother, but it's like, all right, I've never seen you interact with children. If I see you interact with children, and it's like, oh, okay, now I've got in the back of my head, oh, she's got motherly qualities. So you gotta do the job that you want before you ever get the job that you want, right? But women think about it differently. They're trying not to be taken advantage of, because if you end up doing so much, then what if he leave? But here's the thing, women leave. 80% of divorces are initiated by women. So this is on paper when it's documented. Like we go to a courthouse, I sign my side of the paperwork, you sign your side of the paperwork. 80% of the time, women leave. They like, fuck this paperwork. 80% of the time. So what do you think the percentage is when there is no paperwork involved? It's just, you fucking with her, she fucking with you. It's gotta be 85, 90, 95%. So they are coming from this mentality of what if he leaves? Because they're used to leaving.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to put a woman in a position to where like her leaving is to her detriment. You know what I'm saying? People ask me all the time, how can you be married and do what you do? Because my wife's not stupid. And she know that if she leaves, somebody else will be elevated in that position. So you might as well sit back and chill while I do what I do. Right? It's like you don't want what you don't want to happen. But like, if it's going to happen anyway, what you going to do? Where are you going to be? What position you going to play? Period.
So as far as like your own personal growth and evolution, what role would you say like the discipline and like self-love really help kind of build that?
I'm not a huge fan of discipline. I think it's overrated. I think that, because what is discipline? I'm not saying it's not important. I'm saying I struggle with discipline or the thought of discipline. But discipline is basically getting yourself to do some shit you don't want to do over and over again, right? I personally believe you do need discipline up front because when you start something, it's hard. But over time, it should become fun. It should become easier, right? But self-love is everything. I think everything starts and ends with self-love, right? I believe that like, if I love myself, the best thing that I can do is surround myself with people who pour into me and who nourish me, you know what I'm saying? And if I love myself, then why would I allow somebody to disrespect me? Why would I allow them to speak down on me or to kill my dreams or to raise their voice in me or to roll their eye? Like if I love myself, why would I put myself in proximity to people who do that to me? And so if we're going to come from an aspect of self-love, if you are with a woman and you're married and you're in a relationship and she treats you and such, like, bro, men, we get caught up in emotions, but it's easy enough to tell if a woman really likes you or if she does not. If a woman likes you, she's not rolling her eyes at you. If a woman likes you, she's making it easy for you to get in contact with her. You know what I'm saying? And so these men will be married to these women, right? And they'll be divorced or whatever, but you look at it and during the signs of the relationship, like, bro, she was disrespectful. She had a bad attitude, right? She wasn't having sex with you. She was crossing her arms and rolling. It's like, bro, that's not how a woman acts. And so I be trying to tell men, like, wake up, just look at it for face value. Men think, oh, I've invested all this time and this money and this trips and I bought her a G-Wagon and I did this. And it's like, bro, none of that shit mean nothing. You did that for your ego and you did it for a woman who don't like you, who don't love you, who don't appreciate you. And so none of that shit mean nothing. If she really liked you, you wouldn't have to do nothing. There's this one woman on Instagram, it's her and her husband. I think he's got a credit repair business. I forget what she does. And they were telling this story about how like just 6 months ago or whatever, like they were shitting in bags because they lived in an apartment or a home or where they didn't have running water. If you are with me and we're shitting in bags together, that woman loves you. That woman like that because she could be anywhere with anybody else. If she's choosing to be with you shitting in bags and she's not complaining, that's the one. That's the one. So when you meet a woman who got all these demands, he got to be 6 feet. He got to do this. He got to do that. That means she don't like you and she don't like niggas. Period. Because a woman who likes you don't make demands. A woman who likes you says, hey, look, I don't care what we do as long as I get to do it with you. Period. Right? And so when you're with a woman, you've invested all this goddamn time. It's like you're thinking about all of what you've invested, right? True story. I'm on this live on YouTube, right? And dude is talking about how, like, you know what I'm saying, if I get a divorce, but you ain't gonna get nothing. You can't get nothing from me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to court. I'm gonna make sure you do it. And I'm just me personally. This is just me. Most men probably wouldn't agree with this. I could be worth $500,000 or $100 million or whatever. I could be worth $1 billion. Bitch, we didn't get it printed up when we get married. Here, have it. Have half of it. Take it. Go. Don't you ever contact me again, because you losing me is going to be the biggest L that you can say. I can make the money back. I would be satisfied knowing I would never talk to you or hear from you again. Period. Take the money, because I'm going to make more. You know what I'm saying? Like over my lifetime, nigga, I can't wait to my 50s, because men peak financially and career-wise in their 50s, like 55. I'm only 30. What? Bitch, take it. Leave. Go away. Don't you ever talk to me again. And when you speak to a woman like that, she's like, well, shit, he ain't scared to lose me. I guess I'll stay. That's just what it is. So I'm not afraid to lose any person, any man, any woman, anything, because if you really did love and respect me, you would do what's best for me, right? And if you're gonna treat me like that, then that means you don't love or respect me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, my man, what up? Listen to me. I know you get tired of being in a sexless relationship. Or if not, I know you get tired of having sex with the same woman over and over and over again. Even if you love her, I know it becomes boring. But don't worry, I got you. I want you to click the link in the description and go get your hands on a copy of the Poly Blueprint. Keep her, add more. In this blueprint, you'll discover how to transition your relationship from monogamy to polyamory, where it's open on your side but not hers. I teach you how to do this in an honest and safe way. No lying, no begging, no convincing, no compromising who you are in the process. Learn how to become her best option, introduce healthy competition, and set the standard for an effortless, authentic dynamic where she defers to you for all of the major decision making, and thus you get to call all the shots while she smiles and says, sir, yes, sir. If you're ready to step into your full masculine power, gain variety, and still keep her loyal, this guide will show you how. So pause the video right now, click the link in the description, and go get this blueprint right now.
Okay, so a follow-up question. How did treating yourself differently change how others treated you?
It made a world of difference, bro. I tell people, I'm talking about you're a woman, but I really mean people, right? If I'm someone who doesn't respect myself, like my self-respect is low, my woman cannot respect me more than I respect myself. She can't, because she's a mirror of me. All of your women are women are a mirror of us, right? This is why I like entertaining multiple women, because I learn different things about myself entertaining. Like if this woman does something that pisses me off, it's like, okay, that's new information about me. What is it about what she did that got me to the place where I'm angry? This woman did this. Okay, well, what is it about me that gets me sad when someone does that, right? Mm-hmm. But like, let's just say you're a guy who doesn't respect himself, and you're out here doing business, you're interacting with other men in the world, you better hope that you come across men with good character, because they will treat you with respect. But a guy who doesn't, like, if he sees he can get over on you, then he will. You know what I'm saying? So you're left to the mercy of luck at that point. But in general, when it comes to relationships, your woman cannot respect you more than you respect yourself. She cannot love you more than you love yourself. She cannot see you with a higher regard than what you see yourself with, right? And it's like, women be like, oh, I'll be building men. I'm tired of building men. Baby, the man that you want, you don't have to build him. He's already built. And he's going to treat you as if you did not build him because you didn't, right? So yeah, man, I think everything comes back down to self. Everything comes back down to self. So that's why I say there's no one on this earth, not my wife, not my kids, not my parents, there's no one who I love more than me. I must be my biggest cheerleader. And there was a point in my life where I wasn't. Like, I had people tell me, oh, confidence is quiet. Or, you sound arrogant when you say these things about yourself. You should be quiet. Let other people say, man, fuck that. I'm not waiting on people to give me my flowers, right? If you see it, and here's the other thing, bro. Everybody's not the same. But when I see a winner winning, like, I don't even watch professional sports like that. I'm too focused on my own business. But I'll watch during the Super Bowl. I'll watch during the playoffs. Why? Because I love to see winners winning. It reminds me of what's possible. I love watching post-game interviews. You know what I'm saying? After a team wins, or after a winner wins, or after a winner loses, because then I can see how they process the wins, right? Or the losses. And so I have to think highly of me in order for others to think highly of me, right? The hard part becomes not thinking lower of others. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been in a position where, like, I'm trying to keep a woman happy. I'm trying to pay all her bills. I'm trying to, like, the hard part becomes like remembering who I used to be and where I used to be and how I used to think, and not being judgmental of people who are in that space. You know what I'm saying?
So to that point, what does self-love look like in your daily life now?
Good question. So to me, self-love is self-investment. Big shit, small shit. So small things, journaling, right? Hanging around people who pour into me. I'm realizing that, like, taking time to rest, not trying to work myself into an early grave or anything like that. All that self-love. Drinking water, like going to the anything to me that makes me better is proof that I love myself, because that's proof that, like, I feel like I'm worth investing in, right? So yeah, all that. And then self-love on a big scale is like, I've got $50,000 saved, and this guy has a program to where he can help me make $50,000 a month, but it's going to cost me $85,000. Coming up with the extra $35,000, because although I'm giving him the money, nigga, this is an investment in myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's on a big scale, right? And I have a mentor who says that, like, the things that really grow you are always going to be outside your comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? So I have a guy in my coaching business who got started, and when he got started, I was like, "What made you want to do so?" Because you could have chose not to. He was like, "I'm worth it." Feeling as though I'm worth investing this money in. I'm spending it with him, but it's an investment in me, because once I get the outcome that I'm looking to get, the person who I become in the process of getting that is now bigger, is larger, is capable of more. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
It does. It does. So I guess moving forward there, what did you begin to expect from women and from yourself once you rebuilt your frame, your friendships and such?
That's a tricky question. You say, what do I expect from them? Mm-hmm. It's a two-part question. I don't expect anything from women who I meet. Okay. I don't expect anything, because what is disappointment? Disappointment is when you have expectations that are here and then reality comes in here, right? So the higher your expectations, the more likely you are to be disappointed, period, across the board in all situations. So I don't expect anything from women other than for them to be a woman. I don't expect nothing from a snake other than to be a snake. So when I get bit by a snake, I'm not shocked. I'm not expecting anything from anybody. It's hard not to expect yourself from other people. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing I learned. Women don't give a fuck about honor, integrity. Honestly, those words don't mean nothing. Those are masculine words. Okay, a woman cares about what she can do to get the outcome that she wants to get. Okay, she's silly. And so now on the other side, we have, the women who are wanting to be in a relationship with me, or who I'm currently in a relationship with, right? At that point, I have all kinds of expectations. My biggest expectation is you will speak to me with love, or you will not speak to me at all, period. Because I am kind to myself. I am loving to myself. So why the fuck would I let you come over here and speak to me in a way that is unbecoming of that, right? I expect that they do what I say. I expect that they are grateful. I expect that they are in high spirits when I talk to them. And I expect that no matter what emotion, I tell my women, like, it doesn't matter. There's no wrong emotion, but there are wrong behaviors. So I don't care what your day was like. You're not going to talk to me in a crazy way. You can say, "Hey, daddy, look, I had a long day and I'm stressed and I just need some help. Do you mind if I kind of let this out and I get this out and like, don't take none of it personal?" Okay. Potentially we can do that if I like you enough. But the expectation is always that you are kind, you are considerate, you are loving, right? You are grateful. Because I can't. Any other energy is a subtraction, in my opinion.
So, outside of disrespect, which is totally understandable, what other behaviors do you no longer tolerate?
You know, again, I go in and I meet a woman for who she is. Like, a lot of guys' problems is they are judgmental, totally unjudgmental. I like to understand, right? What is judgment? Judgment is like you jump to a conclusion without knowing everything, right? I like to be understanding. And so I like, if you want to be in a relationship with me, well, that's one thing, right? But just meeting them, I don't have a whole lot of expectations. I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna figure out who you are and what's going on. And then I have to determine, like, okay, there's two buckets. Is this a woman who's good for just a fun time, some experiences real quick? Or is this a woman who, like, is worth, like, investing in over a long term, right? I don't know about other men. I'm gonna just speak for me. I personally am not like, it's almost like having a secretary. Like, imagine you have someone who works with you for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years and you've invested in her. She knows everything about you and vice versa. How many times would you want to start that relationship over? That's a lot of effort. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of, I don't want to do that. So me personally, I am like an extract. I try to get as much value as I can out of a woman. And it's like, once I've invested so much, I'm not trying to let you go. But at the same time, you have to be willing to end the relationship at any given moment. So it's a balancing act. But in terms of what I expect or what I accept from women in a relationship, I don't accept disrespect. I don't like women who have lots of demands. Here's what I believe. You have to believe, the woman has to believe that I'm the best that she can do. If she believes that I'm the best that she can do, then there will be no problems, right? I gotta throw this in. So men treat women the way women treat money, and women treat men the way men treat jobs, right? And so what that means, let's break it down. Men treat women the way women treat money. Question for you. Let's say you make $1 million this year. How much money is enough money the next year?
At least that.
Okay, so there is no such thing as enough money.
No.
There's no such thing. You want as much as you can possibly get.
Yeah.
That's how we treat women. There is no such thing as enough women. As long as they're all calm, cool, collected, peaceful, great, all that, it's like, I take on as many as I can. Period. Okay. That's how men treat women. Women treat men the way men treat jobs. So let's just say you had a job and they're paying you $100,000. You do your 40 hours a week. You enjoy it. You love it. No problems. And then let's just say some competitor comes along and say, hey, KJ, we'll pay you 3 times as much. You do the same thing, same job, switch. You could love that first job. You'd be like, hey, boss, hey, it ain't nothing personal, bro. It's just better over there. That's how women treat men. So imagine you're at this new job. You make it $300,000 a year. You love it. You killing it. What are you going to do to rock the boat and make it difficult?
Nothing.
So when a woman is giving you problems and making things difficult, it means to some degree, she believes she can do better. So if you're with the best man that you can do, which is me, then I shouldn't have no problems. The moment problems start coming up, we nip it in the bud. Hey, that ain't going to work. Stop. Right? And if you continue, okay, you must think you can do better. No problem. Let me send you along your way. Let me write you a check. Goodbye. And go do better, because we're not doing that over here.
I like that. So what kind of man would you say is ready to seek mentorship from you? And who is it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I would say millionaire bachelors, bro. If you're doing millions per year, you're a bachelor and you're at the point now where you're like, look, man, I want a family, or really I want a woman who I can trust. I really want more kids, right? But I want to be able to trust that I can find a woman who wants me for me, who doesn't just want me for my money, who won't just use me, who actually loves and appreciates me and respects me and will be there for me during the difficult times. You know what I'm saying? If that's your profile, if that's your archetype, bro, the good news is it's a lot easier than what you think it is. The bad news is you got to find somebody who can teach you, who's been there, who's done that, who has a wife, who has kids, who does what he wants to do, who has multiple women, and who's not afraid of her leaving, right? All of this is capable. All of this is relatively straightforward. It's just there's not a lot of men who know how to do this. You know what I'm saying? I've talked to millionaires and billionaires, and I've learned like, hey, bro, like you can succeed in business, you can succeed in finances, but like learning how to succeed when it comes to women, dude, that is a totally different game. And I would say most men, I would say 99% of men, they don't know what they're doing. They're out here with a woman who is running them, who don't love them, who don't respect them, who don't appreciate them, and they've given this woman everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say. I would say if you're a millionaire, you're a bachelor, you got a few kids, you've been through a divorce, you have enough data that tells you, bro, I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to these relationships. And I need some coaching. I need some help. I have outcomes that I want. I want more children. I want a family. But I also want to make sure that I don't get taken for everything that I have. You know what I'm saying? That's who I think makes a good fit for my coaching.
Well, I guess to your point there, what kind of men do you normally turn away, or would you turn away?
I would say a guy who, like, bro, you can't be honest with yourself. Your ego is too big. You don't seek self-advancement. You seek to feel good. You seek for you to feel important and to feel significant. And you can't like uncross your arms enough to be like, nah, bro, I did fuck up. I did know what I was doing. I did give that woman everything. I did make that woman more important to me than I was to my goddamn self. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, bro, if you're the kind of guy who's like too egotistical, too self-absorbed to like let your guard down and be like, nah, bro, I need help. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have been taken advantage of. Like, I have, taken bitches on dates for $200, $300, $500. I have flew women out of the country just to not get no play. You know what I'm saying? If you're the kind of guy who is too steeped in his ego to be like, nah, bro, to be humble. If you're the kind of guy who's too egotistical to be humble when you're in the presence of a guy who's got all the results that you want, you know what I'm saying? And you just kind of want to save face, there's nothing I can do for a guy like that.
So if a guy, what I'm saying, is looking at you, he's admiring what you're doing, what's his best way of connecting with you? Reaching out to you directly.
For sure. So the easiest way would be to click the link below in the description of that and join King's Corner. Okay, that is my free, exclusive, men's only mentorship group. And then outside of that, once he joins, like if you want coaching, you know what I'm saying? There's a way to sign up for that. If you want mentorship, like, bro, like when it comes to the game, right? People be like, get game. What is game? It is the understanding the economics of mating and dating and living it and winning and succeeding in the way you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So join King's Corner, click the description below. You also have the option to book a personal coaching call. You know what I'm saying? That's as well. But yeah, man, tap in with me on Instagram at King's Corner podcast. And click the link below and join King's Corner, bro. That's the easiest way to get with me. This has been another episode of King's Corner. I am your host, AD, the Kingmaker. Make sure you click the link below to join King's Corner, where we have more discussions and things like this. If you want the mentorship, you want to hop on that, click the link below, join King's Corner, reach out to me, talk to me there. All kind of programs, bro. Any result that you're looking for with women, I promise I got you. It's simple, it's straightforward. You just don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's all good. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? And I learned. So I'm here to serve. Till next time, this has been your host, AD the Kingmaker. Peace.